and let me know what you think. You know how like you just have friends, and most of us today, a lot of us are single. So a lot of us would be like, we just friends, we just kicking it. Cool, no problem. We just kicking it. And we might just be kicking it. But you ever be kicking it with somebody and 2 years go by like this, and you look up like, yo, we just been kicking it for 2 years. Still not saying to each other that we're in a relationship. We'll say, we kicking it. But really 2 years done went by, right? Like, you ever been in these type of situations with somebody that you like or whatever, and y'all just be kicking it, right? But why are you going 2 years just kicking it with somebody? And when you think about that, right? You wasted 2 years with somebody who you could have given an opportunity to from a whole nother person that really wants to be with you in a relationship. Because really at the end of the day, although majority of us in this culture today, in today's dating culture, the way things move, most of us are single. Most of us are single. And being single, you start developing this mindset of like, F it. It don't even matter. If I don't call you back, if I don't catch up with you, if I don't text you back till later, if I don't respond in the way you want, how are you going to even have an opinion about what I'm doing? It doesn't even matter. If we not in a relationship, you can't really give me what you think I should be doing, your expectations of me. But when you kicking it with somebody, after about 3 to 6 months, it's like the shelf life. I call it the shelf life. The shelf life for kicking it for somebody, it's like 3 months, like 3 strong months, right? Or 6 months. And then at the end of the day, why 3 to 6 months? It's because past 6 months, that's your girlfriend. That's your boyfriend. Regardless of how you kicking it, how you want to say it. That's your girl. Or that's your dude. One of y'all gonna get personal in that 3 to 6 months. One of y'all going to get like, I like her. Like, I enjoy the time. I enjoy the conversations. I enjoy this about her. I enjoy this about him. You're going to develop that over a 3 to 6 month timeline, especially if this person is interesting to you. So let's just say you meet this person and they already was interesting to you. They already was somebody you would kind of like deal with. You start talking to them. You get to like them. Then they have great sex, right? It happens. They have great sex, great communication. Y'all have fun. Y'all laugh. Y'all joke. Y'all could do all of that. But what happens is you can't go past that 6 month timeline sometimes. If y'all just kicking it, you have to cut it off. Or you have to have a conversation. Now what happens is, in this generation of being single, conversations that be uncomfortable, most people never visit. Because it's like we single. What are we actually about to have this deep conversation about if we just kick it? But most people don't realize like those conversations, whether you're just kicking it or not, is very important to have. Because you need to know how certain people think. You need to know who you spend the time around. You need to know who you in a conversation with. You need to know their reach, their network, what they may have that can help you. Let's just say y'all just kicking it and it ends up like y'all fade to black. At least if you have a conversation with this person about their life, their ideals, their expectations and things that they want, at least you'll have a little bit of understanding, right, of who this person is. So that timeline within that timeline is very important, of like 3 to 6, because your emotions is being connected to this person every time you have sex with them. Doesn't matter when it is. If you have sex with them, you're going to develop some type of emotional attachment, especially if you're having regular sex. And to add to that, unprotected regular sex. You dig? Unprotected regular sex. Because what's going to happen is one of y'all might or will catch feelings. So I'm going to say it that way. Might or will catch feelings. Yes? No? Leave it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Right? Let me cook a little bit. So what happens is, in these short-term, just kicking it relationships, you have to have a shelf life. You have to be able to you have to have the discipline in yourself to be able to cut off a person at a time where you know, past this time here, it's now the real conversation of what are we doing? Because really, especially when you get a certain age, you start like, what are we actually doing? What is this relationship that we really got here? Are we really, what are we doing? Like, what is this? We playing games with each other. You like me, I like you. I mean, like, what's up? What are we actually talking about when we get together? We might have good conversations, but now it's time that conversation to be had. What are we doing? 6 months later, you should have had it. 3 months in, you should have had that first one. 6 months in, or y'all should be cutting it off or figuring out what y'all actually going to be doing in a relationship together. And open to the other person's opinion. Because I personally think if you have sex with somebody, right, and y'all just kicking it, I don't think that y'all should have, I recommend not having sex every day of the week or like every other day. You know how some people be like, man, well, I just want it. I personally think that if you doing it more than 4 times a week with somebody and y'all just kicking it, that's too many times. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know. That's too many times in a week if y'all just kicking it. And it's just my opinion. Because the emotional attachment in having sex with somebody and having sexual intercourse with someone. You dig what I mean? See, sometimes you got to say it in the way of how it's actually termed. This is sexual intercourse. You feel what I mean? And those two things connected creates an emotional attachment between both people over time. So in order to not, see, and this the answer to it all. In order to not have an emotional attachment, you need to be able to have sex with that person maybe once or twice a week. Literally. Even if you like it. Even if you like it. Because sometimes you like it and you be like, yes, oh, I need you again. Oh, I need you again this week. I need to see you tonight because it was so good. I just want to see you again. But you got to be able to control it. You got to be able to say no. You got to be able to be like, nah, I'm cool. You got to be able to be like, you know what? Let me just hold off. Let me miss it a little because I need to be able to control my emotions. Do that make sense? Let me know if what I'm saying makes sense. Because I was just sitting here thinking about it as I'm driving after the conversation I just had. You have to limit how much sexual intercourse you're having with someone. Especially if you're just kicking it. I'm pretty sure women out there that may watch this video know what I'm saying. And I'm pretty sure it's guys out there that'll watch this video and know what I'm saying. No, not all the time, not all day, not every day, not every time I see you. Now, when I do see you, yes, we can have fun. We can go to that route. We can take it to that level. But at the same time, if we just kicking it, there has to be some time in between where I miss you and I need to not see you and I need to not be around you to be able to regulate and control my emotions. You dig what I'm saying? Because most of the time when you spend a lot of time with somebody, emotionally you're going to be attached to them. Emotionally you're going to be into them. Emotionally it's going to be like, this is my girl. This is my man. That's my ping. That's my cooch. You see what I mean? Whatever side you on. You're going to eventually get to that point because it's the person that you have a sexual intercourse with regularly. Now, people like me that's single, I know how to control certain levels of it. But I might like somebody. And it get to a point where as you get older and go through different situations with different women and you done had different partners and stuff like that over the years and you experienced whatever your experience level it is, because not everybody have a high level of experience. Not everybody's at that level. Some people just started. Some people don't even have nothing in mind or haven't ever done anything outside of the norm. So not everybody has that level of experience. So when you do sit down and lay with somebody, you got to realize, like, you can't just do this with them every single day of the week. You just can't. That's not how you do it. So take on what I'm saying. Let me know what you think. You have to space it out. You have to see him then, see him then, see him then, see him then. So you can control your emotions. And if you just kicking it, there is a shelf life. There is a timeline. And you need to kind of like have that in mind, knowing like this is what I'm doing with this individual. I'm not going past this point because I need to know from there what to do. Let me know what y'all think. Leave it in the comments. This is just my ideas. This is just my opinion. And I like to say my opinion is facts. You feel what I mean? It's just how I see it. But leave it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. I'm sure everybody got a different perspective on relationships and stuff like that. So I definitely want to hear y'all feedback and y'all opinion. I'm just giving y'all a piece of how I think. This is just a small portion.